So it gives me great pleasure to be here to talk to all of you about a topic that I am really passionate about, and that's the role of content in marketing, how to do that to the youth, and how to do it with a Coca-Cola lens on it. Before we start, I just want to talk to you about the secret formula of Coca-Cola. How many people here have heard about the secret formula of Coca-Cola? Okay, so we all have heard that there's this special secret formula that's locked up in our secret vault in Atlanta in the US. And apparently only 3 people in the world, so definitely not me, know that secret formula. Okay, but today I'm not talking about that secret formula. I'm talking about another secret formula that has kept us in the top of people's minds for the past 200 years. And testament to this is the previous presentation. I think my brand was brought up 4 times. So, and that is our consumers. Whether we're talking about the youth of today, the millennials, or the youth of yesterday, who are today's Gen X, each and every one of these consumers are a very integral part of us. We've been hearing a lot, at least I have, about how the consumer is changing, evolving over time. But if you ask me what I actually think people have not changed so much. And this is something what the earlier panel also talked about. What has actually changed are the tools of communication. A lot of you, when you were very, very young, would recall a visual like the left, where there would be an India-Pakistan match, cricket match going on outside a TV showroom. There'd be hundreds of people trying to watch that. Today, you don't have that, because today, with the advent of social media, there is a plethora of options for you to watch your content. And because of this, what has happened is the consumer has got her attention focus of very short durations. And because of this, it is all the more important that you engage with your consumer, otherwise you lose them within seconds. So what is consumer engagement? If I were to say, I would say it covers 3 things. The first is, and most important, is you have to have good content. Nothing takes the place of good content that is realistic, relevant, and touches a chord with your consumer. We've been talking about the advent of social media. Today, content cannot be content that's just meant for TV. It has to spread across medium, and it has to spread through time. Otherwise, it's not relevant. And the third thing, which is a little scary for us marketers, content will be there and will spread with or without us. So as brand people, we better make sure we're there, or else we'd have missed the bus. So a question that keeps coming to us at Coke is, can a beverage brand change the world? What's our primary purpose? Our primary purpose is to provide refreshment from our portfolio of brands. Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Thumbs Up, Limca, Maaza, Kinley, whatever you say. But that's our primary purpose, and if we only focused on that, we'd lose you in a second. So what we keep trying to do is, how much further can we take it? We want to take refreshment to refreshing the world, as well as inspiring moments of optimism and happiness, and which is why our slogan at Coca-Cola is Open Happiness. So is it possible for a beverage brand to do that? How does a company or a brand which started in Jacob's Pharmacy in 1886, this is a small pharmacy in Atlanta in the US, where 129 years ago, the first glass of Coke was sold. From that, how does it become one of the biggest brands in the world? And for that, it has to do with engaging with consumers, coming out with content that people identify and find relevant. So as I said, we're going to be talking about 2 things, refreshment and a higher level moments of optimism. Even in refreshment, I know that Ajay did talk about earlier that we could have only just shown a girl drinking a Coke and putting it down and it would be enough. However, we find that's not the case. If I want to engage with each one of you here, I can't just show a glass of someone drinking Coke and putting it down. It always has to be a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have some fun. I'm going to show you some communication which talks about the points I'm talking about. The first 2 is one American commercial and one closer to home in India. And what this is, both of these are commercials about refreshment. But what you'll see is how we're taking refreshment and extending it to one step further. The first is a commercial in the end of the 1970s about an American sports star who was known as Mean Joe Green. And the reason he was known as Mean Joe Green was because he was mean out on the field. He never smiled. So we took up this thing to say, through a Coke, can you bring a smile on someone's face? Can you play the ad, please? No, not this one. Go. Just move the red button in the middle. Yeah, and press that. Yeah. No. Just move the red button and press the play. Yes. Do you want me to come there and do it? Yeah. Oops. I just showed it to you before the session. Just move it onto the... Yeah, okay. The volume. Just pause it, please.
Yeah.
You need any help?
Just start from the beginning.
I just want you to know, I think you're the...
Please, give him that.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help? I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good, makes me feel nice.
Be around.
That's the way it should be. I like to see
Hey, kid.
the whole world smiling with me. CocaCola as life. Have a Coke and
Thanks, Mean Joe.
smile.
So we did get Mean Joe Green to smile finally. Coming closer home, this is something that we aired about a year ago. Again, refreshment, but with a bigger message. Can you please play the baby?
I'm a crazy woman. I'm a crazy woman. किसी को स्माइल देना, किसी को खुश कर जाना, अगर ये सब crazy है, मैं crazy हूँ. मैं crazy.
बेवजह खुशियाँ लुटाओ, कोका-कोला पिलाओ.
So as you see, each one of them will definitely have our signature bottle, taking the swig of the bottle and the at the end. So we'll make sure we'll have that. But it has to extend to connect and give a larger message. So I talked about refreshment. The second thing I talked about is connecting with moments of optimism and happiness. So can a beverage brand do this? Who is this character, if anyone can tell me? Santa Claus. Can anyone tell me who created Santa Claus? Yes, and if those who don't know, have you ever wondered why is Santa Claus red and white? Yes, because brand Coca-Cola created Santa Claus. And I'm sure that's a news for a lot of people here. But in the late 30s, when the US was going through depression, at festival time, we came and said, what can we do to inspire and create some happiness and joy around festivals? And at that time, there was Saint Nicholas, who was a small, thin character wearing green, who didn't really inspire a lot of happiness. So what we decided to do is take this character and make it. And I'm telling you, never in our lives did we dream that this character would become the most loved figure across the world. Someone that every child looks out to, no matter where you are in the world, at the end of the year to bring joy and cheer to them. So as you can see, it is possible if you stretch for a brand to bring joy. Moving closer, in 1970s, there was a lot of racial tension and cultural tension going on. This was the time of the Vietnam War, when a lot of nations were warring with each other. What we did is we took a bunch of people from across the world, brought them to one place, and tried to spread a measure of happiness.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing with me. Perfect harmony, perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coke and keep it company. That's the real thing. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. And I'd like to buy the world a coke and keep it company. It's the real thing. It's what the world wants today. It's the real thing. What the world wants today. It's the real thing.
This is another experiment that was done in 1971, just to try and bring a message of peace and happiness. Again, we were taken aback by the response. It was so popular that I don't know how many of you know that, but last year Google redid the experiment to see how it would work in today's digital age, and it worked with great success. Coming closer to home, we had over about a year ago a lot of tension with our neighbor. So about 5 or 6 of us sitting in the office, we talked about it with our global team to say, is there something we can do to inspire a moment of happiness? And we came up with something. So we're not saying this is going to take away all problems, this is not going to erase any issues, but what it does do is bring a moment of happiness.
The relationship between India and Pakistan is one that has seen a lot of lows.
It's stressful, it's tense.
It seems it's not improving and it's getting worse.
It's only been 60 years that we have been apart. Before that, we were living harmoniously together.
I think all the strife would go away if you took away the barbed wires in the middle of the two countries.
It saddens me that we have this neighbor that we can't even go visit.
They have this perception which they've been ingrained in their heads that that's the bad guy. But when they actually meet them, they realize, you know what, he's just like me.
Mainly because there's no communication. They're near us, but we have no access to them. And it's sad, because together I think we would do wonders.
Creating an environment where young people can exchange ideas, thoughts, gestures, and take away that communication gap that exists.
If I have any opportunity to go to India, I'll surely go there.
The whole idea of actually touching hands, it's like communicating with each other without words, and that action speaks louder than anything else.
It's like, this is what we're supposed to do, right? We are going to take minor steps so that we are going to solve bigger issues.
It is more about, how similar we are as opposed to how different we are.
Togetherness, humanity, this is what we want. More and more exchange.
So what we did set out, we found out that we could create a moment of happiness. And that's what we're talking about. How do you create moments of happiness? So what I've talked about so far is how you do this through communication. But what if you want to take it a step further, create content that's relevant to the youth and all generations by doing something different? And that is what led to the birth of Coke Studio. So just a quick question, how many people here know of Coke Studio? Okay, Coke Studio is Coca-Cola's foray into music, but with keeping within what we know best. So it's like I said, it's a musical journey, 3 seasons so far. And keeping with our key of happiness. It is always about inspiring moments of happiness, moments of optimism. This was our way of provoking happiness through music. And the key here was that the premise was things that don't usually come together over a Coke. So in Coke Studio, what you would see is a singer from Tamil Nadu with a singer from Assam coming together and creating unforgettable music, which you would never get otherwise. So what did we do here to create content that was different? Because if it's not different, it's not going to stick with people. First thing we did was, in India, everyone knows that music is synonymous with Bollywood. So we took the first bold step and said, we're not going to do Bollywood music. We're going to do original music. The second is, while we have some popular singers, we also made this a voyage of discovery, going to different parts of the country, finding new types of music, bringing those people and giving them some chance to create music on stage. They created the music, we published the music. And what you had was magic. Then came the point where we said, okay, we've created Coke Studio, which is a great property. 3 seasons have been seen, we're about to launch the 4th. How do we take the brand Coca-Cola, the property Coke Studio, and how do we integrate the two? So what we've done is we've come out with a promo for the launch of season 4, where we've tried to create content by merging both.
उम्मीद वाली धूप, सनशाइन वाली आशा, रोने की वजह कम है, हंसने के बहाने ज्यादा, सिर्फ है मुस्कुराएंगे, खुश रहने का है वादा, उम्मीद वाली धूप, सनशाइन वाली आशा। तुम दिल से अगर पूछोगे, वो खुश रहना ही चाहे, जब सच्चे मन से मांगो तो खुल जाती है राहें, तो खुल के खुशी लुटाओ, ये क्या है आधा आधा, उम्मीद वाली धूप, सनशाइन वाली आशा।
Coke Studio at MTV Season 4 starts this January only on MTV.
So a lot of you in this room would have recognized the song. And the song is unmistakably Coke for the past 3 years. So what we did is we took a song that the moment it came on, Ummeed Wali Doob, Sunshine Wala Ash, everyone knew it was Coke. Brought in Coke Studio, brought in a few of the brand properties in and merged it together. So what we do have is a true example of how content can go beyond a physical product. You have here 256 artists, more than 30 hours of content. We connected it with our base brand. Our products in the market had labels which talked about Coke Studio. It went across medium. It was simulcast on TV channels, on radio channels, on social media channels, and we took it to the consumer. As a result, the type of reach you got was phenomenal. And you can see the numbers for yourself there. What we also did try to do is we said, now that we've created something on air, how do we take it on ground? How do we take it to the youth? How do we make them interact with the brand? And the best way we felt was to do it through concerts. So we went, and I'm going to show you a small clip in the interest of time. We took it to one of the colleges. where we had 30,000 teenagers jumping and screaming for 5 hours. I was there, so I saw that. And at the end of it, all of them just said one thing: thank you, Coca-Cola.
Coke Studio obviously is one of the best things to happen to independent music.
Crowd here looks fabulous. There's a very, very huge crowd out here.
मेरी कला है इसमें कोक वालों को दे रहा हूँ.
Hello, I'm Anusha and we're here at Coke Studio at MTV live in Jalandhar. It is absolute madness. We have some great performers on stage right now and the crowd is crazy.
मदारी 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 मेरा तू मैं जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा
इट खड़के दुक्कर बच्चे कत्ता हो गए चिल्ला इट खड़के दुक्कर बच्चे कत्ता हो गए चिल्ला
20,000 plus audience like here tonight, and the energy. It was a super night. I lost my voice. Thank you.
The crowd has been fabulous at lovely professional university. I'm Anusha and I have had the best night. It has been fantastic. So see you soon.
So you can see the crowd, 30,000 students jumping up and down. So that's Coke Studio. So to bring it together, we started with product benefits, we went to communication of optimism and happiness, and then we said, how do we take content to a completely new level? So to conclude, I'd like to just leave you with 3 thoughts about content marketing and how that is going to be critical to engage with your consumers today in a world that moves so fast that you have to grab their attention within seconds. That's why I said, how do you engage with your consumers? The first, never underestimate the power of a story well told. Never underestimate the power of content. Content has to be relevant, content has to be real, content has to be something that the audience identifies with. And the best content are always in forms of stories, whether it's Aung San Suu Kyi, Dalai Lama, or any speaker that we look up to. What do they do well? They tell great stories. And these stories are nothing but content in a way that touches each one of you. Second, each of your stories have to connect with human emotions. Otherwise, they will not touch your consumer. If all we did till today was have a bottle of Coke, show someone drinking it and putting it down, we definitely would not be the most loved brand that we are today. You have to take it to touch them in some form or the other. And I was looking at your reaction through the different videos that we showed. Each one touched each one of you in some way, but it touched you. And third, if possible, always try to appeal to a higher purpose. Then not only are you relevant, not only are you telling a good story, not only are you touching our emotion, but you're also lifting your brand up beyond what it could be otherwise.